Okay, freshly charged, doing my morning collection from work. 1,012 miles on the clock, 46 miles of range. So I might do a little quick review on this machine after 1,000 miles of using it. So during the summer, it was great. I didn't have any problems with the heat. Driving along with the windows open was absolutely fine. Having said that, I didn't drive much during the day, the middle of the day. I was doing mostly my daily duties of picking up my wife from work or dropping my wife off at work in the morning and in the evening. But did a couple of trips during the day, and with the windows wide open, moving along, I didn't get overcooked. I imagine if our summers lasted a bit longer than they did, I would have been a bit of a problem. I know people living in the south of France and Italy and places can get well cooked, but I didn't find it too hot to drive around in. Performance was brilliant, going up and down all the local hills. I only lost like 1 mile an hour off climbing the hills. Having said that, most of the time when I climbed the steeper hills, I was driving solo. So that's the bread and cheese hill that I got up on the hill, one of the hills that I go up on the way back from Basildon Hospital. I would normally travel up that solo, but certainly in the colder winter weather, when it's down to sort of 0 and -1, this car was struggling to get up hills. It was embarrassingly slow, dropping it down to 20 miles an hour. And these aren't especially steep hills, I don't think. Didn't cause any problems. There was never any worry that it was going to stop or anything like that. It was just a little bit embarrassing. I have forming queues behind me. I mean, I stick to 30-mile-an-hour roads, apart from sort of brief stints on 40 and 50-mile-an-hour roads for about 5 minutes at the most. I've not done any sort of long distance dual carriageway driving. Although in the rush hour, it'll probably keep up with most traffic, because no traffic travels at any speed at all, does it? So the main problem I've got with this car is the driver's seat. I never feel properly planted on this seat. I always feel like I'm not in the middle of it. I always feel like going around a corner I'm gonna slide off. I tried putting a cushion on it to make it a bit more comfortable. But that didn't really help. So when driving along, sometimes if I'm going around sharpish corners, I have to lean on the door to prevent myself from just sort of moving over sideways. It's quite uncomfortable. And also, I do feel like this side of the car, I mean, I'm a big guy, I'm over 17 stone. So sitting, I do feel the car slightly leaning over to the left with just me in it. Loaded up with luggage and or a passenger and a fair bit of shopping. It does feel the car drives nice and level, but just me alone, there's a definite feeling, exaggerated a bit by the camber of the road, obviously, that I'm sort of being leaning over to the left. So I never feel comfortable in this seat. I reckon I could forgive all its other problems, the lack of speed, the lack of power. I could forgive all its other problems if only I could sit comfortably on this seat. It's really irritating. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a small. The problem is that these seats are so small. I don't think there's a way to fit a bigger seat in at all. I might go another cushion route maybe, but it's just, it causes me problems driving. The seat causes me problems. Condensation is an issue. That's overcome. The windows were steaming up just a little while ago when I was talking, and just opening the windows gets rid of all that. On a wet windy on a wet, cold, wet day. Condensation is a problem because you can't really drive along with the windows open, otherwise you get wet and cold. The demister does work and does clear the windows, but unfortunately it seems to take something like half an hour to actually get that done. So when I'm leaving to pick my wife up from work, I'm dealing with misty windows all the way there, and then just as I get back, the windows are sort of cleared up a bit. So that's a problem. I have put rain nets on the outside and the the anti-rain stuff on the outside and the anti-mist stuff on the inside, and that hasn't made a. Hello.
Yes. You leave home now?
Yeah, I'm in the car now, so I'll be there in like 5 minutes.
I'm gonna wait.
At the big bus stop? Inside the hospital? Where are you now?
I'm here. I'm just going outside. So I'll wait the opposite bus stop.
No, I don't want to go that way. Can I pick you up at the... oh, yeah, wait at Outpatients. That's better. Yeah, okay, all right. I'll see you then. Bye. Yeah, that's my wife. Ready to be collected. So, like I said, 1,012 miles I've done in this thing. And... yeah, the main issue for me is the seat. It's too small for me. I'm sure a 14-year-old teenage French boy or girl would fit it absolutely perfectly, but I don't really. Fortunately, I don't do it. I mean, the longest journeys I'm doing are to the lock-up and back, and that's that. You know, I'm going to do another trip to the lock-up today to clear out some of my rubbish, but those are the longest journeys I do, and it's alright for that. And to be honest, you're not going to get very far in this. I mean, 20 miles is more than half its range in the winter. I'm only getting, like I said before, sort of mid-30s at best in terms of range in the winter on a charge. So you're not going to be sat in this seat for very long at all, sort of an hour or so. Well, these 20-mile round trips I've been doing, because I'm in fairly reasonably heavy traffic, have taken around about an hour's driving, and it's fine for that, and that's what it's designed for. And going to and from picking my wife up from work, it's cheap. I just filled this thing up with about a pound's worth of electricity. Overnight it was as low as 3 pence a kilowatt hour when I charged this. So so 15p or so it cost me to charge the car up last night. Actually, it was 30p. 30p it cost me to charge the car overnight last night. On a bad night, it's costing me in the region of 18 pence a kilowatt hour when it's because of when it's really cold. I guess a lot more electricity is used and it's not discounted as much. But last night, 30p's worth of electricity for 35 miles of range in this weather. So that can't complain about that. Can't complain about that. As you can see, this is a 30-mile-an-hour road. It's taking this hill nicely. A week ago, this slope here was dropping me down to 26 miles an hour when it was 0. It's now happily full speed ahead, going up that little bit of a hill. We'll see what it's like on the way back, but it's 7 degrees in the car, moment. Just breaking the speed limit here, 34 miles an hour going downhill. That's because it's fully charged. Quickly down to 30. It's a Sunday morning, so I'm not having to battle my way through traffic of any kind. So this sort of turns into a really just like a 5 or 10 minute drive each way. So I think it's a 5 mile round trip on this route. So it's sort of like a 10 minute drive if you don't include the stop off and pick my wife up. There's the hospital looming ahead. You have to get used to also the fact that you don't have any, when the car's fully charged, there's no engine braking. You kind of get used to the fact when you lift your foot off the accelerator, the car slows down a bit most of the time. But for the first 3 or 4 miles after a full charge, it doesn't do that. So just take your foot off the accelerator, it'll run on quite with no resistance whatsoever, and that can be a little startling to begin with. Was there last night. It hasn't been raining. I don't know what that's about. Some kind of blocked drain, I imagine. I got this thing because it was interesting. I didn't buy it. Well, I'm leasing it actually. I didn't buy it, get it because I thought it was the most practical car to get, or the most comfortable. I bought it because I fancied having one. In retrospect, I probably would have been better buying something like a sort of 10-year-old Chloe or whatever it is, rather than this. Seatbelt.
Okay.
How's your shift?
It's fine.
Fine.
When there's pedestrians slow.
So I've driven years and I've not run over a pedestrian. Oh, I did run over one pedestrian once. Ran over a boy on a bicycle who cycled in front of me while they zebra crossing. But I didn't have a chance to see him coming.